Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast which we smash apart the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1 minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyleson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. And Kyle,
Yes, sir.
surprise!
When the moon hits your
No!
it's
back?
That's right. You
pizza's
thought our big 3 cheese episode series about pizza in this movie was over? No, bonus episode. It's kind of weird.
I'm so excited.
I there's not a whole there's some things to talk about. Here's why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
We know that this is Harlem, but it's not. It's a street in Toronto.
Yes.
There is a sign that is in the background of a lot of this minute.
Yes.
And it's called the Big Slice. And I looked. There ain't no. I mean, maybe there was 2008, but there doesn't seem to be. There's no The Big Slice in New York City. There is the Pizza Barn, which is Yonkers' best pizza since 1975. They are the home of one of the biggest slices of pizza. There's Big Slice of New York pizza on 146th Fifth Avenue in New York City.
Sure.
But it's not called the Big Slice. I really got to think that somebody just said, hey, it's Harlem, New York City. They got to have pizza places. Make one that says the Big Slice.
Yeah.
And so,
well, it's the Big Slice.
oh my God, that's amazing.
It's a big bad show tonight. Oh, baby, come on.
Wait, you just foreshadowed.
Oh.
There will be a wrestling theme in the next minute.
Oh, yes.
Don't anybody.
There's a lot of it. Yeah.
Hold on.
Actually, I have a little bit in this one too. I mean, we're
Oh,
getting.
good.
I mean, it's two big dudes grappling each other.
I mean, there's
So
not.
the
Yeah.
wrestling thing is so obvious. It's hard not to just be doing all the time. My God.
Well, so anyway. That's all I got for the intro. I mean, because it's literally just it's the aftermath of where we left off in the previous minute.
Yeah. Because here we are at minute 93 of Incredible Hulk from 2008, directed by Louis Leterrier. And so we are picking up where we left off, which is Banner has committed suicide. Maybe.
He closed his eyes. Now
Yeah, he closed his eyes. He closed his eyes. So it's like, all right, I've accepted my fate. I close my eyes.
and you know what's going to happen,
Right? Because that's right. That's exactly what's going to happen, because we've seen every other time Banner closes his eyes, he opens them, and they're green, and the transformation is happening, and then the other guy's about to show up. So Banner's falling, his eyes are closed, he opens his eyes, and they're not turning green. Uh-oh.
Oh, no,
Hot
wait.
twist. And he mutters, "Oh, shit," as he falls away. So see, we're having a discussion off mic, but I honestly don't know if we're allowed to swear on this thing. We occasionally swear in our normal lives, but I don't think we're allowed to in this because of ratings and things. So I'm just going to have to say the S word, because that's what he was saying there. And I don't think they were allowed to say it.
Or he was thinking, oh, I could use a sandwich. You know what I like on my sandwich? Shiitake mushroom.
Oh, that's his last thought. Wasn't a Betty, but it was the mushrooms that he enjoyed eating. So, but it made me think though, because the S word has very interesting connotations, and I can think of 2 of my favorite uses of it as I was thinking of this. So I say, and I'll tell my 2, and then you can see if that inspires you if you have a favorite use of the S word in movies. One of my favorite ones was in The Matrix Reloaded. Neo has just been fighting werewolves and vampires, apparently.
Sure,
If you look in the lore, okay, sure.
Right.
And then he discovers that he has come up against an enemy who can essentially teleport. They can close a door, open a door, and they can be in another place. So he opens the door, he goes out, and he's in a completely different area. He's like he's found that he's like in the mountains, and he says the S word. He's standing there like, that's one of those great moments where he just like comes to the door and he goes, oh. And Keanu delivers it perfectly. My second one, my favorite, is in X-Men 2 or possibly X2. I'm not sure the title.
X2.
X2, X-Men United. I don't know.
Right.
It's X2. You know what I'm talking about. The second X-Men movie, which is pretty much the best X-Men movie. So Wolverine has been the biggest, toughest guy through the whole thing. Like no one can touch him. And so then he's in Weapon X, and he pops his claws against this tiny little Asian woman. Like, oh yeah, it's no big deal. And then she extends adamantium claws from all her fingers too. And he says, "Holy S word." It's once again perfectly delivered, the exact thing you'd say in that moment. Those are two of my favorite uses of the S word in cinema.
Okay,
do you have any?
The one
put you on the spot.
No, the one that I would come up with is because it was very similar. Okay, so why are we talking about all this? Because this is significant in that this shows you where, again, the early stages of the MCU, and we talk about that, and we talked about that at the beginning of this movie. You could see that the movie, as you're trying to craft this Marvel universe, you're still treading lightly on obscenities, right? And that's changed. Even with Disney, that obviously changed, right?
Yeah.
But it was definitely this moment of taking a franchise that was trying to play it safe, and then boom, you're trying to break that wall. Well, here's another franchise I can think of. Star Trek. Star Trek Generations. The scene where the Enterprise's saucer ready to impact into the planet after the warp drives exploded, and Commander Data looks at the viewer screen and goes, "Oh." And that scene was crazy because it played perfectly. It wasn't like it was out of character, even though it was, but that movie's one of its character arcs is that he gets his emotion chip so that he can actually now say things like that.
Yeah.
That's got to be the first time an obscenity was used in a Star Trek film.
Yeah, I think so. I would have to
or Star Trek at all.
Yeah. And definitely obviously that was the first Next Generation movie. So,
well, and I think that I can remember when that happened because that was such a big deal, because it wasn't just there to do it. It was there to make it edgy because you were trying to bring a new audience into the movie because there were people who were watching the shows that weren't connected to the old crew. So there are moments you can do that in movies, especially, and we'll talk about this in future things with Marvel. They clearly get a comfort level with their audience that says, okay, we can cross some lines. And it's just funny because I think in this moment, you clearly know what he's trying to say, and it's done for laughs, and it's done actually kind of fairly well.
Yeah, it's a good gag.
It's a good gag. It never gets old when done correctly.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we've also seen the movies that can heavily abuse their
right.
So Bruce falls and he spikes into the pavement.
Kerplunk.
Just like a human wouldn't. So
oh yeah, no.
I looked at this and I was sort of like, I don't think that's exactly what happened. So my fan canon would be that he was already partially transforming, that he was already tough, that he could go through. Because think about divers. Like there's a certain a height you can get as a diver, and that you can't jump anymore because because when you fall on water, you can die because then that's water. This is concrete. It's a whole different thing.
Well,
so he would have been a puddle.
Well, he would have been a puddle because in the contest between flesh and bone and concrete, asphalt,
right?
No, that wins. Even like water, well, even like you said, from certain heights and stuff and speeds, that's what's going to happen. Okay, but we talked about this in a previous minute where we talked about the deleted scene with the gun. Yes. And that there could be a part of this, not just that he was in middle of transformation, or the transformation can happen so quickly that as soon as in that microsecond that his body experiences trauma, it just repairs itself. It not only does it, it makes it stronger, and it actually heals, and it does what it has to do.
Well, I guess we did see that with the blood when he put the blood on and he tried to do the cure within a second.
Right.
Then the Hulk it expanded and it broke the slide tray.
Right.
So unfortunately, Betty had to see that. So
she kind of
Betty,
did.
And she's just like, oh, yeah. Well, once again, we've learned from the battle at Culver University that her eyesight is amazing because from across the field she could see exactly what was happening when he was transforming, and vice versa. And also it could be Bruce's power making eye contact from a long distance. We know that Bruce has a special power. His eyes are open. So she's looking down at this happen, and that's when Ross actually says, "Get her in here."
Yeah, she's on the edge.
Yeah, she's leaning out still where she watched him fall down. And so from then on, we're seeing them look out through the windows. So they're actually on either side or on the same side.
And if you were right over it, you would
Right.
see nothing out those. I mean, they're definitely playing with the optics of what you could actually see. But whatever.
So Bruce Banner is dead. The end.
Oh, he's dead. Yeah, he
No way to
planted.
get out
He's
of there.
planted inside the. He's done.
But wait, something under the ground. Sorry, I feel like in the last 2 minutes I have just been blowing out people's headphones. I'm so sorry for your eardrum.
We'll fix that.
Under the ground, something is stirring. From beneath you, it devours. No, a green fist comes up through the concrete. And so we're going to see something I don't think we've ever seen in this movie. Ross does something nice for his daughter. Besides keeping her out of prison, he says, "There, Betty." He actually points it out, "Hey, look, he's still alive." I don't think he's done a nice thing for her in this entire movie. I think this is the first nice thing that the father has done for his daughter.
Or he forgot how not to be a dad.
Right. Actually, just made me just a regular human person. Hey, your boyfriend who just face planted.
Don't get used to it. Don't get used to it.
Somewhere in that big green guy.
Only temporary.
So Bruce is gone, and the Hulk has pulled himself out of the rubble. Now see if you are going like this. So I'm having a little trouble with the geography, even though it's a street. So there's the burning bus there. So there's a burning bus and a cabin there. So that's the opposite end of the street from where Delta 4 met their end, right?
Right.
Okay, so he's approximately where Abomination was when Abomination was throwing all the Ben Stillers around. And I apologize to anybody who is tuning into episode 93 for the first time and wondering what the hell we're talking about. I realize I'm speaking in Marvel Movie Minute code at this point.
Yes, exactly.
But is that what your understanding of the locations are?
Here's what I know. The Apollo is the 50-yard line.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So the Apollo is the halfway point of the arena that this battle is happening in.
Oh, good God. That's absolutely true. And that drives me crazy now.
Did you? There you go.
I never got that, but you're absolutely right. I just do not think in sport terms. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Oh, that's going to haunt me.
Yeah.
So, because Abomination is on the other side of the water spray.
Right.
Okay.
And that's the goal line. That's the goal line of the one end of the field.
Yes. Fire on one, water on the other.
There we go.
And the Apollo in the middle. I could find zero connections to mythology in this. I looked up, I did a deep dive on Apollo, and there's no connection to it. It just happens to be that's the name of the theater.
Oh no,
it's a very famous theater. I'm just saying,
oh right,
it's Apollo's
No. Well, actually, spoiler. Definitely tune in to the minute 94, the next minute, because we're going to talk about something.
Okay,
but
I'll be there.
Oh, will you? Oh no, definitely tune in because it's funny.
Okay,
not that it's not always funny. No, the Apollo is just there to show Harlem. It's a centering landmark.
Yeah,
and like we said, all these other things. Yeah. You're seeing like these shops of the Big Slice or Doner Kebab, which is a typical type of kebab you'll see.
And I can tell you that Club Zanzibar is not a part of Harlem. That is a
you stole my
club. Oh.
you that's the next minute. Hold that for the next minute.
We'll talk about Zanzibar.
Yeah, that comes up. Well, that's a centerpiece of minute 94.
Yeah, it is. It's like you're talking about the Big Slice. Well. So the Hulk pauses, he flexes,
comes out of the hole. He's standing right there,
and screams at nothing. Why is he screaming? I say we get the most famous shot probably of the movie.
Because this is the video release cover. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I think in probably every MCU thing that the two shots of Hulk that they use are this one and the one of him, the first transformation, the close up of his face from the Culver University after he leaps out of the
coming off the bridge. Coming off the bridge.
Yeah, right. Those are the two shots they use all the time. And then for some reason, I'm Abomination. Why do they keep putting Abomination in those packages? Come on, guys.
Well, he's yelling because he's back when he thought he was vanquished by Stearns in his house of horrors. I mean, it's the first time I've done the
House of Horrors.
Anyway.
So then it's the big shadow thing. And so I guess it's also hey, Abomination. Because
I'm glad he got out of the hole facing the right direction.
I know, right? That'd be embarrassing. How?
Oh, wait, hold on, turn around. What?
Hey. And so that Abomination is just like, oh, I guess I'm not going to eat this guy. I guess I'll just throw him away. She's like,
And it is a guy. No, you can clearly see that.
Dude, like I assume it's a Ben Stiller as well, and he throws and just like oh, I don't need this guy anymore. Shunk, and off that goes that guy.
What was he going to do? What was he going to do with that? Oh no, that guy's dead.
Oh, I know
that guy's totally dead.
He's lying on the pile next to Delta 4 in the cab.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and so many Ben Stillers.
But wait, that is so weird because you kind of just see it really quick. Abominations like this, and he's like, "Oh, what's that?" Flings it clearly because the guy's body goes through light, like the mist and everything, and you're just like, "Oh, what were you doing there?"
Yeah.
What?
So and then he says, "Hulk."
Yeah.
It's my friend. It's my buddy.
Oh.
And so Hulk then casually pulls off what's left of his shirt because this Hulk is a real American.
We got another one.
Absolutely Hulk Hogan move.
Don't confuse those two. We don't want to get in trouble with any,
That's right.
trademarks or otherwise.
That's right. Yeah, they already had to settle that in court. So Abomination sees him and does. I'm a run at it.
Oh yeah, he's a linebacker. Oh yeah, he's a running back. Whatever. Okay, again with the sports, I don't know what my problem is.
He's absolutely running back.
Yeah.
Because if anything his military training has taught him, it's run straight at the enemy.
I will say this
again. This is what drives me crazy. It's like, wouldn't the better military strategy be let him come to you?
Okay. Wait, come on. One of the things and this is excruciating about this, in this transition between Hulk and Abomination,
yes,
they intentionally do a shot setup,
yes,
where Hulk's upper body fills the frame, and then cuts to almost the exact identical fill out of Abomination looking down the other side of the street.
Yes,
it makes his head look so. I know I keep saying this. It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
The ridiculousness is heightened tremendously.
He is no more turtle than he is in this.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. He is turtling in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
At that point, have Dana Carvey have Dana Carvey be him.
Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
Well, I don't understand. I can't believe you went through this and you went through that shot and everybody went, "Oh yeah." And I don't mean to dump on this because again, we get it. There's a lot of things I do like about the character, but that scene's just weird.
Yeah. And it shows you how unbelievably similar they are. Like, at least when you had now Marvel, this is going to be a problem with Marvel for the next couple of things of like it's the character, it's the hero, but just a little different. Like, our villain is just gonna be just a little, like, Ironmonger is like, Iron Man, but he's bigger. But at least he was bigger. These ones, they're about the same size and they have the same build and they're both mostly green and they're both shot in the same thing. And a lot of times when they're cutting back and forth between them, I don't know who is who. Like, I not that I need them to be super primary colored, so like red guy, blue guy, but at the same time, like, a lot of times I'm like, which one was that? I mean, a couple I had to pause a couple of times because it was like, which one is that?
So you're going to go on a real big rant in about 2 minutes, right?
Yep, I have a written
of the movie.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, we'll get to that. All right, so
promo on that one.
Yeah, they're running towards each other, and
we get a quick glimpse of the Hulk's butt, and that's when the minute ends. Like, Hulk butt, and that's enough of that.
And sandwiches. Oh no, those might be the hot dogs. We missed this in a previous minute.
We did. I noticed that too. We got a couple of minutes past it. And I was like, we never talked about him throwing the hot dog cart.
The Abomination bowls with a hot dog cart, and that's the hot dogs from it.
Yeah, that's in like the late 80s, like 80, 88, 80, something like in there.
Wow.
Yeah, we totally missed that. Sorry. But for all you hot
there they are.
Fans,
we cleaned it up at the end.
Now. We made up for it. Yeah. Freeze frame promo. Woo.
That's it. That's all we got.
That's the end of the minute. It really is just like falling, screaming, yelling, and then Hulk butt.
Yeah.
So, but I guarantee you, Mid '94 is a lot more exciting. So we finally get to see the two Green Titans square off against each other and break Harlem. That's going to happen. In the meantime, if you want to get into more serious discussions about hot dogs or water spraying or Hulk butt,
Big slices of pizza.
There you go. You can do so on our Discord. That's right. We have our own Discord chat room. We got all sorts of channels for all the different Next Reel shows, stuff about movies, about television, and we have a very own particular one set up just for this very show. So if you want to talk about Marvel Movie Minutes, we are there and we can talk about it. Go to nextreel.com/Discord and find the link. So thank you all for listening. We'll see you back here for minute 94. Hope you had a smashing good time. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.